Geez, Homer, I thought someone with 2 wives would be happy.
No, you're thinking of someone with 2 knives.
I gotta tell you, this is pretty terrific. Yeah.
So, another week, another fucking win. Last week we came...
How does he do it?
Last week was a second place, getting his second Omni for the collection. And this week was coming first at our November regionals for Oceania. Declan, how do you fucking do it?
Mate, well, I realised what I was doing wrong last week when I lost with my Red Bull deck, and that was because Nathan played Jesmon, and so I played Jesmon this week. And yeah, I think we swapped decks, but he added some weird spice to the Red Bull deck, and I'm like,
Okay.
fucked up, son. But that's all right. He's a cool guy.
Spice is always good, but sometimes it's hit or miss.
Yeah, well, he won last week, so
I mean, yeah.
you know, fucking.
And the only one's worth more than whatever the mat you just won is.
It's the champion step cards that are worth.
Yeah.
Before we get into that, Alex, how did you go today and/or last week?
We won't talk about today. Last week I did well, top 16. Really spoiled my black.
Good choice.
Yeah.
Will, how about yourself?
I came 15th today with security control.
I mean, yeah, good, impressive.
It only went to time
Sunday.
once, and it was in the mirror. And the other guy just wanted to talk about Salomon being a puppy.
What?
Righto. Big shout out to Anton as well, who came 28th.
Yeah.
One of our
Anton.
boys.
Oh, Christ, yeah, no.
Yeah, it's 3 top 32s here, and then Declan.
Yep.
I got myself here in Quinn, but yeah, no. But yeah, no, let's pull up the deck, because I'm professional, I have it up already. Pulled up. Yep, so it's fairly looking like... It looks pretty alright, like standard Jesmon, until you get to like the bottom half.
Wouldn't be a deck on this without some spice.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Start off as always with the eggs, full and in clear display.
Yep. Yoko and Demimera. I was umming and ahhing about changing the eggs, maybe putting in the plus 2k with piercing one. I can't remember what it's called.
Maybe Demon.
I'll pull it up.
That one.
Maybe.
But luckily I didn't verse any black, so I didn't really have to get over any substantial blocking. DP.
And that's the only matchup that it kind of comes up in.
But yeah, otherwise, pretty. I was happy with it. It didn't really come up depending on whichever one it was. So yeah,
All right.
chill.
Rookie lineup. We got usual Jess.
Yeah, bit of a spread. So we got the 4 Hawks. You
Duh.
say less. 2 +1 Agu, 2 plus 2k when swinging at someone, and well, to be honest, I didn't really know what rookies to run. I just went up Nathan's list from last week and I was like, oh yeah, that's pretty smart, I guess. I did like Gilmon just because consistency is obviously an issue in Jesmon, and so sometimes getting that draw is pretty good. You can't really argue much about it. And then three blocks, because blocks.
I was about to say as well, you're not running gallons to go with the Guile, so...
Yeah, so that's another reason why it's only at 2. I did want the draw power, but I also wanted to run the BT1 Omni, BT1 Wargrey, sorry.
But yeah, like the inheritable is the better part of that effect, I think. Like, especially because it means if you've bricked on like a champion, you can still hit stuff and get draw power off it.
Yeah, I like, even when I was playing with the 4 Gil and the 1 Gallant, I never went into it. I never used that effect to go into a Gallant, so,
Well, it's pretty rare that you'll have the 5 stack and like a Gilmon and 2 level 6s.
Yeah. No, it's a bit rough. Onto the champs. Aguni for game. Fucking hell. It's a good card.
We're learning pretty solid hybrids, good cards.
Yeah, which black had some.
Yeah, we just need the other half.
So this was based off of Alex and Nathan's list. The three Balhawk, 3 Greymon, and then chucking in the 2 Geograys, which actually it came up a decent amount today because I versed a lot of like sort of rush decks. Like I versed 2 Agabond, Gababond, I think that's it. So 3, which is decent.
3 out of 6, yeah.
Obviously, it comes as well against stuff like your D Brigade and whatnot.
So it was good to like it came up. It was nice. CL. Now, obviously, I'm only running 2 when the sort of standard is 3.
Yes. Whisper.
Because I wanted to fit in a few other things just to deal with other situations. And I think I just got very lucky today with drawing the CLs, and it came up and it was just lovely. You know, can't really knock it.
But it's so hard to fit everything you want into this deck. You gotta find cuts somewhere.
Oh, Christ.
Yeah, it was brutal. I think I cut the so originally the deck didn't have the 2 level 7s, and because we just forgot about them, so we had a 3rd CL and a 3rd red memory boost, and I was like, I felt like those were the 2 that I could cut and not be too upset about. Yeah. Onto the level 5s. Voltramon is very nice. And then the 4... Yeah, Savior is obviously what you want to see. I was testing around with the War Growlmon previously. It's nice, but I found that the meta sort of changed a little bit. It reverted back to sort of sitting in the egg and waiting for a while, because most of the time you just didn't have to.
Yeah, and I think Jesmon players as well have figured out, like, it doesn't matter how much your skill goes down to, as long as it doesn't go to 0. When you bring your Jesmon out with your plan, your judgment, and your stuff, like, you win the game. Doesn't matter. You can hold it there.
Yeah. Well, Greymon. Weirdly enough, I didn't go into this today. Like, I had it a few times, but I had Jesmon as well, so I was like...
Okay.
It looks like it should be good in theory. I don't think you're only playing against one.
It is good. It is very strong.
Yeah, in theory, obviously, like it. I mean, it's got a delicate plan built into it. It's
Yeah.
And you only play against one security control as well, so like the matchup rules therefore didn't really come up that often.
Even against security control, when we were testing this yesterday, I borrowed this deck for a bit, and I think I went into it once, and it just crashed immediately. It just died on the first swing. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I think if you don't have a nice like DP boosting lineup with the Argus and the baby, it can get a bit dicey.
Yeah, it
can get a bit dicey for sure. So you just got to be a bit careful with it. Sometimes you don't have a choice, and that's just how she.
You got to be a bit delicate with it.
Yeah, some might say.
Listen here, you. I'll get you out of this call.
We got the Jesmon.
Just said you have to plan for it or something. Like you didn't even have to go with delicate. Every part of that is a pun.
But the
I'll be here all day.
Omni and Agubond.
Yeah, there's 4 Jesmon there as well, by the way.
4 Jess, they're nice. They're good.
It's alright.
But you know, like don't worry about them. The Agubon was.
Yeah, did you actually use it today?
No.
You just wanted to play.
I was really sad. Like there were a few times where the situation popped. Well, most of the situation popped up where if they had something on board, then it would have been lovely. Yeah. But like they didn't have something on board for me to trash and then swing again. So I would swing with the Jess, unsuspend, and the theory behind it is, okay, if I've got 3, if I've left my opponent on 1 security and they've got something on board, I can go into the bond and swing trash and then kill for game. Where it just didn't pop up today, really, and that's fine. But it's still nice. It's still nice. Probably, it's probably stupid. Like, just run a second Omni. It's not. It's.
I was gonna say,
it
feels like it just does the same thing, but.
It's just for
Yeah.
like really niche, weird like situations, I guess.
But Declan
Yeah.
really likes it.
I'd like
Well-
to point out, I didn't know about any of these cards. They weren't in yesterday's build, so this is all stuff that has
this is-
Well,
come
yeah.
up 24 hours ago.
Yeah, you played my build yesterday, Will, which
Yeah,
was missing
yeah.
like 2 or 3 different cards. This-
Yeah, it was missing the Omni as well, but
Yeah. Oh no, I think I had the Omni. I didn't have something else in the deck yesterday. I forgot what it was.
Yeah, I don't remember what that change was.
Yeah.
Well, I found most of the time I was going up to a Jess in raising, and if I had a tie on board, I was at 3 anyway. So
Yeah.
even if I'm using like plan or whatever, I can, and I've got a CL, I'm still on 3. Still on 3, so it's still viable, which is nice. Yeah.
But you can also
I think
go
that's
into a
about
Goonie.
it.
You can also go into a Goonie.
Yeah, a Goonie is sort of another option instead of the Omni. So in my head, I had three Omnis. It's fulfilling the same role.
Yeah.
Um,
I think it's
Yeah.
actually a bit better. It's like a lot more secure. It just you can't obviously do it at 1 memory.
No.
Yeah.
Well, unless
Onto the options.
Yeah.
MVP,
Gravity
Crush.
Best road option.
Yeah. So we were having to think about how, like, in my mind. All right, we'll get into Declan's brain.
Enter the theoretical space.
You got to think about how you can surprise your opponent to win. Okay, and usually most people just think of a Goonie or Omni, right? But if you're thinking one step further back, so if I'm coming up with, I've got a Greymon, a champion in breeding, I've got a tie, so I'm set to 3. I've got 3 memory. I bring it out, I play the Savior, get a CL out, go to 1, Gravity Crush, play the Jess, and then, they don't expect it, and it's just a way that you can surprise win. So your opponent won't be expecting to have to, like, they're not thinking, oh, I'm going to die next turn. It's, okay, I've got another turn. But, like, it's just that sort of mind fuck that you need to sort of be aware of. And that I sort of play for. I play for it. Like, it's how you can get good, I don't want to say easy wins, but, like, surprise wins maybe is a better word.
it comes up in a couple of ways as well. Like you get like the 2 memory for the Aguni, 2 memory lets you play plan and like sword. Like just surprise 2 memory is just insane.
Yeah, sorry, I meant it more as like that's the sort of the most extensive way of using it.
Yeah,
you get me? Like, obviously you can do it for a Goonie, you can do it for other shit.
Yeah.
But this was like my oh fuck, here we go.
The real spice use, yeah.
Yeah. Then we have plan. Plan's plan. Fucking good card.
Yeah.
Surprise. Transcendent Blade or Judgment of the Blade. Yeah, very handy. I didn't often use it on the Jess. I versed a lot of the Bonds decks, and so they would just have shit all over the board. And so sometimes I'm like, fuck, I want to get rid of that. Otherwise, I'm getting really risky with my own. I'm risking losing to like a Goonies and stuff like that. So, all right, let's come out, swing, like clear something, and reset a little bit. So that it came in real handy with Balhuck being able to remove 2 things. Yeah, good shit.
And then, I mean, memory boost is its thing.
Yeah, memory boost is memory boost. It's a good card.
Just back to Gaia Force as well.
Yeah, so this is for the security mon pretty much. Obviously, it's just lovely removal in the first place, but yeah, you need to get rid of security. It's a shit show.
Yeah.
So don't be silly. Joust actually didn't come up today, so I think I might have played it once in the whole day. I just didn't really need it, or I didn't have the memory to use
Play
it.
it and Judgment and Delicate.
Yeah,
No,
like
no,
there are higher priorities. Like if I can get to 16 with the CL and all the boost as well, it rockets it up. So I'm like, I'm probably clearing your security in the 2 Jesmon swings anyway, so let's not bother. But yeah, maybe it might be worth actually doubling up on the Atomic Blaster, which came in massive today with all of the sort of rush decks that I played. I was just fortunate that I saw it. It's a great card. Great card. Just clears all those little shitty boards. The only annoying thing is that 2-drop Agumon that's 4K and then they drop like a Geogray. I'm like, fuck off. Why are you doing 9K, you dick? But, coming into the day, I thought tie would be more important, like being able to set to 3. But it's like, obviously, lovely card, but it wasn't as much of a priority as I'm used to a set to 3 tamer being, if that sort of makes sense. Obviously, +1 security, lovely.
Yep.
Sure. Love it. Fantastic. But it wasn't the end of the world if I didn't see it. And I think
Did
there
you
were plenty of
usually-
games where I didn't get it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you usually build your Jesmon on racing and then move it out?
Yeah, depending on the game state.
Yeah, because if
yeah.
that's the case, you don't need the 3 memory to go like move out Savior, evolve Jesmon, then start swinging.
Yeah. Like there were plenty of games where you just don't see a rookie, and then you just hard play something, and because you sort of know what you're playing against. Like in the last few rounds, everyone's aware of what everyone else is playing. So if you're going first and you know that you're versing a certain deck, you're like, all right, this won't get punished too badly. It's fine. But yeah, it was good. Ty is a very good card. Yeah.
But sometimes like I see you running 3, so like it's like you don't need that 3rd one. The 2nd one's fine.
I see the 3rd slot is that Gravity Crush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to see Gravity Crush more than I want to see Ty.
Yeah.
Yeah, between the crush and the boosts, like you're not hurting if you really need to get to 3. You've got a couple of ways to get there outside of tie.
Yeah. Yeah, very solid deck.
We all thought it sucked at the beginning of the
big
format.
thanks.
Well, it sucked before the deck, the structures.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Before the structures, it was like, okay, this is an inconsistent mess. But I mean, now it's just slightly less inconsistent, but has more power to it.
Like, yeah, the structures gave, Blaster, it gave Guilmon, it gave the boosts, it gave something like Geogray, yeah. So like that's a lot of like consistent. Like the Geogray is consistency, and it's like another body on board randomly that'll give you game. Like, well, I mean that happened a lot for me, but I was playing security control, so it's a little different. But I think the structured deck like helped this deck out a lot, a lot.
Definitely more than like
Geogray. Yeah, the Geogray had a much bigger impact than I thought it would.
Yeah.
Even if I just hard played it to get rid of shit.
Yeah.
True.
Like sometimes you just don't have what you need, and they've got something on the board, like a Gabumon on the board, and you're like, fuck.
I'd rather that wasn't there.
Yeah. And that's fine. Like, you might have swung with something else. You're just chipping away. But yeah, it's a nice body. And I think a few times today I went on top, like I put a Savior on top, and then you're just expanding your board nicely. Yeah.
Anyway, let's get into those matchups for you. What did you end up actually versing today? Let's go round 1.
So round 1 I versed Shine Grey, and he was a nice guy. We were having a chat, but he wasn't running Sukuyamon, so he knew it as well. He was like, fuck, I should have put Sukuyamon in. It's actually like I would not sleep on Shine Grey. It's scary, especially if you see that Sukuya. It can be very, very scary because forcing your opponent to come out and then bombing everything with a Shine Grey is, it's real. It's a real thing.
You heard it here. The next deck, we're playing a Shine Grey.
Round 2, Agabond. Weirdly enough, all the Agabonds were bricking quite a bit today. Just not seeing rookies, or maybe it's just a method of playing, like they put them all out and then were like, fuck, I don't have any left.
Playing it too much
yeah, I think I think maybe I don't want to criticize, but I think resource management is just a big part of that deck, and maybe I have to think about that a little bit more.
Did you tour all your matches?
Yeah, I didn't drop a game.
Okay, whoops.
Yeah, just casually drop that. That
No,
little tidbit.
I'm just looking at the scores and going, hold on.
Yeah. Yeah, today was a good day. I can't even front. Today was insane. What else?
I think you're pretty right about the aggro decks needing to learn resource management. Like when I was playing green yellow, you'd always if you emptied your hand, you lost. So you need to really be drawing cards and actually playing around what removal exists. And yeah, I think I had the same thing where all of the guys I was playing, I played one Gabu and one Commandramon, and both of them lost as soon as they ran out of cards in hand. I was like, cool, I can put you to 10 every turn. You do one thing. There's no economy for you anymore.
Yeah. No, it's important. It's important, and people if those decks are going to do well, they've got to think about it a bit more. They've got to change maybe their list slightly just to factor that in. But yeah. That's how it goes. Round 3 was against Set Control and Drew Plan. GG. Thank you very much. Round 4 was versus... it was a mirror against Jesmon. This was quite tight. Those games were both actually very, very close. I think we both sort of bricked a bit, but my opponent bricked on rookies in game 2. I remember that, and I think I bricked on 5s. So I was, I eventually drew them because I had enough rookies, and I started, sending them out and just pretty much played rookie rush.
How do you brick an ultimates in a deck that has only 5 ultimates?
It's a big surprise, mate. Who knows?
How do you not find a mega in fucking 12 cards? This game's consistency is fucked.
Yeah, how do you not find a mega in 3 games?
Yeah,
Imagine
mate.
that happened to somebody.
Couldn't be me. Anyway.
What's next? Bond. I remember this being very tight, and my opponent, I had to force him to deal with a lot of stuff. He had to friendship at really awkward times. He definitely lost, and but I was sort of playing into that where I could go, all right, I've got an Omni in hand, or I've got an Aguni in hand. I don't remember which one it was, but I had one of them in hand, and I was like, all right, it's fine, I've still got it. Yeah, pretty good. And then the Agabond, my opponent bricked a little bit. He did, they cracked security pretty quickly. But Atomic Blast, Geo Grey, Transcend, Judgment of the Blade, it really helps in that matchup. And while your opponent is sort of getting, they do run the blasters, they do run the Gaia Force, they run all that. But you can sort of, if you're playing, well, I mean, you got to be a bit lucky, but if you get what you need, you can play around that deck decently, and so it's not too scary. Yeah, and that's what she wrote.
All right.
It was a good day.
6 rounds was a small one today.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I got lucky that the other match
The guy
had
playing
an
down
undefeated.
lost,
Yeah.
I lost.
It was 3
Yeah.
Exos in the final round,
It was
and
just
yeah.
shy of,
Lucky.
what, 3, just shy of 100 players, so there's only so many rounds you can play.
It was 96, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. A big, sort of big thank you to the organizers.
Oh, of
Oh,
course.
It's nice that we're still doing these tournaments, even with lockdown sort of slowly easing up and stuff. It's nice to have these bigger ones that we can participate in and enjoy.
It'll be interesting to see
Yeah.
what ends up happening, how many sort of in-person local events we have, or does it just become a purely online thing?
It'll be
Well,
interesting.
they are trying to run the store championship things. I think just for our store, it's kind of just been it's you guys again.
Yeah.
Here you go.
We only have
Yeah.
it, but still.
Here you go. One of the 3 players who is top 3 can take home the thing today. Actually, have we done that yet? I think I was
No,
supposed to organize
we
it.
haven't done the sort. Yeah, you were supposed to organize it.
Yeah.
Hey guys, so the Store Championship's going to be on the 11th of December at Game Traders Hornsby. Start about 11 o'clock, 11:30. Hopefully you can see you all there and see who can take the cards off for Declan. Alright, bye.
Anyone who's watching this video between now and next Saturday can come to GT Hornsby and participate in the Store Championship.
Oh, it's supposed to be ours.
Love to have you. Love to have you.
They're gonna play
I'm
against
going to be
Declan,
playing
Declan.
Shine Grey, and I'm going to lose. So, can't wait.
We'll just tell you what's gonna be happening. Like, Alex is gonna be playing black. I'll play, I don't know, Dearborn one, something. Anton
I'll play
will be
Jesmon.
Alex.
And we'll be having depression. Crying in the toilet.
You guys know if there will be any December events? There's nothing up yet, right?
Nothing
up
I
yet.
haven't seen anything yet.
I feel like if you're gonna take a break on tournaments for a month, this is the month to do it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go hang out with family or some shit. I don't know.
But,
it's Christmas.
January should be the national events.
Yeah.
So like for us, that's free event. America has to qualify for it though.
yeah.
Mm.
Oh, like an actual nationals? I didn't know that.
Yeah, like I think top card gets to go to Worlds as well.
Oh.
So Declan
Alright,
win
so
that one.
Declan will see you at
We'll
one.
see Declan
Yeah.
in the Worlds. He'll be going up to Japan, just going to the Bandai Namco office and just be like, just give me my Omni. Because you know it's going to
Should
be
we-
an Omni.
Speaking of Declan winning events, should we speak about last weekend as well, just quickly?
Oh, Christ, yeah. No, let's do like quick
Yeah.
recap of EVO Cup, which was arguably a bit bigger, but still just as impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So last week, Saturday there was a DC1 Cup, which not many people rocked up to, but I came third in that.
Too.
And then on the Sunday was the EVO Cup, which I went. Was it XO1 or X1?
It's been as well. You went
XO1, I think.
XO1.
I think you lost X1.
No, you went X1. You lost.
Yeah.
You
Oh
lost
yeah, I
this-
lost to
Yeah.
Nathan. I lost to Nathan. That's right.
Oh yeah, second. Duh.
Yeah. He was. Yeah. I gotta say, Nathan's really giving me a run for my money at the moment. It's fucking scary.
He's kind of you duo at this point. We'll get him on the channel at some point and just do like a recap between you two.
It'd be great. It'd be good. He's a
Well,
nice
he-
guy. He's a very nice guy.
I mean,
He
hey,
posts on the Digimon Meta website sometimes, so yeah.
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 Call out to Nathan if he wants to come on.
Yeah. Yeah. What I played last week, the Red Bull deck. That's just Gubby Bond with Joust and Delicate Plan and the starter deck on that. Starter deck tie, and then 2 Otamamons, because Otamamon's fucking good. Two to drop 5k.
It's insane.
Very strong. Very strong.
You can make a deck with just 2 drop 5Ks. I don't know what you'd call it. Like
I don't know.
Rush Rookie.
Vanilla?
Rough
Level
yeah.
3 load.
Yeah, that was a good tournament. But I
I
gotta
like
say
that one
that the Red Bull deck is not all that. Like, you gotta be careful, man. That deck is not all that.
At the same time, though, I'm still not over the fact that the DC Cup, you hit 11 security in one turn with it.
It's very
Yeah.
fun. It's a very
we
fun
had I had 3 Joust in hand and swung for 12.
Shit.
Yeah.
12
Yeah.
checks with a plan. And then, I don't know, I swung with something else for game, but it was
I think you
pretty
went
hard.
lower
yeah.
afterwards.
Oh, I thought it
Yeah.
was a Goonie. Oh wait, fuck. Blue.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whatever.
Yep.
It's a Goonie in fucking Pepsi. That's right.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Red
Yeah.
Lobo.
I mean, I guess you could.
You could play a Goonie. You shouldn't because you have so many more blue tamers. But you could.
No, you gotta do it. Cause
But you play tie. The red tie. Starter deck tie. So yeah, you can play a Goonie if you want.
Anyway,
So
Stupid.
bad deck building decisions aside.
No, I think the deck was solid. It just bricks too much. It's like for locals, it's really fun and you'd probably win. But like for something that round, like that large, you will just lose. You will just lose.
You'll
to
just come
a
second.
bad hand.
You'll just come second.
Yeah.
I
You'll
mean,
just
like-
win an Omni. I mean, it's just that simple.
Or 33rd.
Nathan will tell you, like, my opening, like, the 2 games I had against him, I didn't draw a rookie in both games.
Mm.
And I just went, well, all right, we're fucked. Let's move on. But, you know, that's all right. Like, it's nice. It's nice to see such a competitive sort of oceanic group that we have going. Very, very strong, area that we have, region. And there's a lot of innovation coming through with every deck. Pretty much, you see a new thing in most of the top 8 decks and whatnot. Mine being the Agubons, which I never went into, but I'm not sad about it at all.
People will see it and
Your
they'll be
decks
like,
especially always have something. Like your Pepsi list also had Absolute Blast, which is a
The Absolute
Odd
Blast
option.
for Pepsi is important if you're expecting a security control heavy tournament, because
I
the
think
Securityamon is fucked. You don't want to see that shit.
it just speaks to people like building for the format they're expecting. Like you can't just play the deck you saw top in Japan over there. 'Cause,
There's
like,
no side decking, so
Yeah, you
you've
gotta
got to put side deck in the main.
you've got to make
Yeah.
your like innovation there and like
Yeah.
And
Well, I mean, that's why the Gaia forces. That's why the atomics.
Yeah, exactly.
are
Like,
in this,
like you see more
gotta think about
Gabumon
that
lists
shit.
playing Kakaitis Breath and more Rattle Stars and whatnot. Like people are moving away from the ancient grey variants to the like just Gabumon with more options variants, which is like because you gotta use a pretty stronger.
you got
One of the guys,
Ancient, you just swing into shit.
one of the guys I played against was playing Gabumon, and he had I think 12 options that removed cards. It was
Yeah.
very frustrating.
Yeah, it's not the worst thing in the world, but
It's annoying for
those
me.
decks have to think about plan.
It's annoying
You
for
gotta
me
think about
who's playing
Yeah.
Craniumon and they just go bounce and I go, oh.
Yeah, bounce, spin, bop it.
machine world problems.
Yeah.
But yeah, so any closing thoughts or shout outs that you want to add? Obviously our usual for Josfer running his tournaments page, keeping us all sort of fresh and up to date.
Yeah, it keeps us entertained on a Thursday.
Exactly.
Yes, big thanks to Josper. He does a lot of work to keep our scene going. So he's understated how awesome he is. To our Hornsby group, love ya. Thanks, Larry, for getting us our stuff.
Also,
Yeah.
welcome Anton, who joined halfway through.
Hey.
Yes, thank you. Coming back.
Congratulations on the top 32.
Just saying, I just played Jesmon Mirror today, and I won Jesmon Mirror.
I mean, hey, it's
Ah.
a feat.
Good day. What a good day. What else? Shout out to Nick Quack for just being a sick guy. Love ya. Shout outs to I don't know. I'm trying to think. I'm blanking.
I mean,
Shout
we
out
have
just
our
these
usual,
guys.
but,
Shout out
Just
to Alex for suggesting Gravity Crush. Shout out to Will for saying it's shit and not to run it.
Being wrong.
Yeah. And shout out to Alex again for telling me not to play Agubot.
You played it anyway.
You played it anyway,
Yep,
and
you
it
bet.
didn't do anything.
And you didn't use it.
Yes, it would have objectively been better as an Omni.
Yeah, sure. I don't want to talk about it.
So
But-
what we learned today is Jesmon's a good deck, and you can just ignore the 40% of your deck you don't see.
Yeah, as long as it's Greymon, Savior, Jesmon, you're good.
Just
Yeah.
open Jesmon.
The rest of the deck's irrelevant.
No, this deck is nuts. Like, we always thought that Jesmon sucked at the start, and then
Back.
Well, we
It's
played it and
just
kept bricking with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. But I think that's the thing as well. Sorry, Will and I were talking about this before. You got to expect to brick.
Yeah.
Like, you got to expect it, and you got to think about how you're going to play it off that. Like, you got to think about that shit. And if you don't think about it, then no shit, you're going to lose. You're not going to get the God Hand every time.
And the game's not over if you brick. Like, your opponent can brick. I bricked today, game 3 against I forget what it was. But, like, we both bricked. Oh, it was just one, and I was like, oh, I've lost. Then he went, no, I bricked 2. We're still in this. So like, that happens.
Yeah.
But also sometimes you just play a 5 and they go, okay, I'll give you 7, and then they kind of go, memory boost, Blanc, rookie,
Yeah.
champion. It's like, oh, I'm mega WinCon go.
Yeah, it's like sometimes you just don't get punished. Like,
Yeah.
it's definitely
Like,
a
oh,
risky way to play, but like obviously, yeah, when you don't have the other options, like you got to know like when you can't be like when you can try and afford to not be punished.
I think
it's
more
important.
importantly, like you can just look at Declan, right? He's top survived, I think, every single event except for one event when he was hungover. But like, you don't get that sort of consistency if, like, you know, you lose on the brick. Mathematically, it's impossible. So obviously, there is some way to play a brick that Declan is keeping to himself. That the rest of us mere mortals can only dream of.
I mean, you got trust me, I've bricked plenty, but everyone's got a brick. So, you know, you got like luck. Obviously, you need a little bit of luck. Let's just not take that out. But also, you need to think about how to use that, right? Like, how are you gonna fucking play if you don't see your path? Think about it. Like, what cards can you put in to try and like boost consistency? Yeah, I get it. But like,
but like, you know,
how are you actually gonna do it?
That's why I put in 90mon into my deck. Because like, it's a 3-cost champion. Like, if I draw that, if I brick, like, at least this doesn't cost me 6 to play.
And it goes back into what Declan was saying about surprise lethals.
I did win a game with 91 today.
Yeah. It's just insane.
It's important. Yeah. Like, I can't stress how important it is to think about these surprise lethals. Like, you gotta fucking think of them. Otherwise,
I just
like,
wish Black had a hybrid.
Yeah.
It gets on
Well,
next
soon.
set. Yeah, it gets on in BD7. But
Yeah.
Do we get hybrids for every color next set?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
BD7.
Check it out.
Well, BD7, not next set. Next set, next one.
7, not next.
yeah, sorry. Next main set.
Yeah.
Next main set, yeah.
EX1. Like,
EX1 looks sick. We should probably start testing for it.
Machine German.
Yeah,
Machine German.
yeah, this guy. But yeah, we'll see you guys next time when Declan obviously comes top or wins something else. Or who knows, someone else might do something.
Wow.
Yeah, come on, you fuckers. Take
16?
some- Wait.
you can't.
3 of us came top 16. Leave us alone.
Yeah.
All right, that's us.